Usually I don't shade other creators' islands, but in all seriousness, what was this creator thinking? This doesn't even remotely make sense. This island is so ugly. Like, what are all those custom designs on the ground? And the colors don't match neither? Let's go and see who made this joke of an island. Hold on, that was me? Hello my friends and welcome to a new Animal Crossing video. My name is Michana and yes, you've heard that right. This, to quote myself, joke of an island is in fact my own island. You know, we all started somewhere when it comes to Animal Crossing and we all had our first island in 2020 or whenever you started your journey in Animal Crossing New Horizons. So I don't think there's any first Animal Crossing island which is truly to be considered perfect in comparison to today's standards in terms of Animal Crossing design. A lot of things have changed, such as the usage of custom designs and how you place them, having consistent themes or color schemes on your island. So back in the day when Animal Crossing New Horizons was released, a lot of players, including myself, kept things simple and didn't consider all these things at all, and that's how such simple islands came to be, which were just laid back and not as complex as many islands now. So in today's video I'm going to show you my very first Animal Crossing island, which also kind of has a sad story linked to it because I never got to finish this island. So let me summarize the very tragic story of my island. Oreoland was my first Animal Crossing island and actually even completed until the 2.0 update was released. And I was feeling kind of overwhelmed with all the new furniture and content in general. So I wasn't a fan of flattening or restarting the island. So instead I made it my mission to rework Oreoland. But that wasn't much of a good idea because instead of like improving Oreoland and adding all the new furniture, it ended up being a construction site and I just never had the motivation nor inspiration to finish it. So at one point I got tired of it and deleted it and started my new island Mykonook, which became my favorite island and my forever island. So actually Oreoland was intended to be my forever island, but I literally single-handedly destroyed this island, so congratulations to myself for accomplishing this. It definitely takes a lot of talent to ruin your own island, so yeah, I really did that. So before deleting it, I actually uploaded a dream address, although it wasn't finished and there were custom designs being spread all over the island, like randomly, and there are also a lot of empty areas, and I also don't know why I uploaded the dream address during winter, but whatever. So I thought it would be fun to show you this island, although it's not perfect and not finished and just a mess in general. But yeah, let's discover this island where I often pretend that it doesn't exist and never existed at all. Now, what saddens me about Oreoland is that it actually had a lot of potential and there are in fact some areas that don't look that bad at all, even like compared to how I would decorate my islands now or how I actually decorate my islands. So you have this entrance area, which actually even has a consistent color scheme, so you have all the brown and yellow color tones, and even a little pizzeria, which is pretty simple. It doesn't have like overwhelming custom designs, just a few pizza menu designs, and even a little balcony which isn't fully decorated neither. So you have a stunning little view at those two buildings, the residential services and a player house. I actually really like the wood design that I used here. It's really giving those cozy vibes and also looks very realistic. I really like this design. And to be honest, I even forgot about most areas on this island, so right now it really feels like I am touring this island for the first time, and it doesn't even feel like my own island anymore because, as I said, I didn't even finish it and just wanted to forget about this island. So this is like a whole new island to me right now. So there's even a little seating area which is linked to the pizzeria. Now I do like what I did with the stalls, like with the green, white, red Italian color scheme. I think that's pretty cool in combination with the facade item I used. So that's actually pretty neat, but still I would do such a build completely differently now. But now this is one of those areas on this island that don't look that bad, like it didn't age terribly at all. So you even have little centerpieces. So as I said, Oreoland actually used to be a finished island, and I do wish I just left it like that, uploaded a dream address, and then just moved on to another island. But instead I tried to change a lot of areas, so I started terraforming everywhere and replaced custom designs, then replaced them again, and that's why you have a lot of areas where there are random custom designs scattered on the ground. So it's actually pretty sad that I just destroyed this island, but it still has some areas where you can see that it actually used to be finished, such as this little centerpiece right here with the fountain and the benches and statues. So that's actually a pretty awesome little centerpiece. And also a simple little restaurant type of, I don't even want to call it build because it was literally just a space filler, but it's still a nice little space filler, also with the wooden plank right here, and you can just relax. So that's actually one of the areas that don't look that bad. And now this beach area is something special because it used to be like a little Greece-inspired mini city, which I really liked. But I think I teared it down and replaced it with some still blue and white furniture items. So it still has this Greece touch. But I removed all the custom building designs because I think I replaced them with other designs. But I still think that's a nice little beach space filler right here. Also with the wood plank design, so that's actually not that bad. You can still move around freely, like this beach is actually perfectly decorated. It still has some interest with the stone cobble custom design on the beach. So let's go on. So this is also one of those areas which I wanted to rework, so that's why there's absolutely nothing except for some tables and chairs. I remember when Oreoland was still pretty new, I actually had a cool little double bridge moment. So the bridges are still here, and in the distance you could see some European inspired house buildings. So that actually looked pretty awesome. I'm a bit sad that I destroyed such beautiful areas that didn't age that badly. Even if you compared this to today's islands, it would still look pretty cool. So again, it's pretty sad that I removed this. I actually really like how this was arranged in general, also with the custom design. So it's a shame that I just managed to ruin so many areas on this island, or pretty much the entire island. Although it used to be finished, it was a pretty solid island for its time. So we also have some villager houses. So this is basically a part of my neighborhood district. Very overgrown and also not finished. So I also wanted to add a lot of changes here, but I never got to do that, so all the flowers and weeds just spread around wildly, and even more villager houses right here, and more empty areas. So as I said, I wanted to change a lot of areas, but instead I turned this island into a construction site, like a never-ending construction site. And at one point I got tired of it and was like, okay, I want to start a new island where I can just incorporate all of my ideas into, because I also wanted to design my own custom designs, which I did with mykonook. So mykonook really became the island that Oreoland was intended to become. So basically a forever island that I'm very happy with. But anyway, so this is Oreoland. We also have another neighborhood district here, also overgrown. And I did try to choose some fitting furniture that match the exterior of the villager houses. Also kind of fitting fencing, but like right now I'm really questioning why I chose this fencing because it doesn't really match the roof at all. Maybe the flowers, but that's it. So my neighborhood district also used to look pretty neat, nothing special or overwhelming, but just solid and like a simple core island. You know, there's actually this trend where you purposely do an island without overwhelming custom designs and just keep things simple. So it was kind of this vibe. It did have a few custom designs like this cobblestone, but also used the natural path a lot. So that was my own house. Maybe we will have a quick look into that one later on. So now we are back at the residential services area. Or actually, we haven't been there yet, if I am not mistaken. But anyway, so this is the residential area. Now, this building was actually supposed to become a little ice cream parlor. So the idea was to create a building which is kind of like the buildings you get on the Happy Home Paradise Island. So I wanted them to be interactive. That's why I decided to use the player houses, but I never got to finish this ice cream parlor at all. I think I also wanted to do a confectionery, also using a player house, but never got to do that neither. But anyways, let's see what else Oreoland has to offer. So this is actually one of those areas which were still finished and already used the new 2.0 items. So this was a pretty simple little mini shopping district. So that's actually a neat hotel build. Not too large, but it still has its own charm in my opinion. Also a cute Starbucks cafe next to it. So this was actually my first attempt to create my own custom design. So now this is definitely like the worst Starbucks design that's out there, like I'm being 100% honest. The Starbucks logo itself doesn't look that bad. I gotta give myself some credits for the Starbucks logo, considering that this was literally when I just started pixel art in Animal Crossing. But other than that, the Starbucks design is very underwhelming and I would definitely do so much better now. But it's still overall a nice little build. I like the black color scheme and the black medieval wall in general, because it does give off those realistic Starbucks vibes, like with the green and black color scheme. So I actually like that. Now all those builds that actually look pretty amazing sadden me even more, because it reminds me of the fact that Oreoland was so close to becoming a neat little finished island. But yeah, I destroyed that vision basically. But anyway, so this is a little balcony of the Starbucks cafe. I also actually like how I did this one, like also in terms of color and custom design use. I like how I used this stone design to divide this area, like where the fencing starts. It actually has a pretty nice vibe, and it also has a pretty neat view at this little theme park which I made. So this was intended to become my Neverland Ranch interpretation, so basically a Neverland Ranch theme park based on the Neverland Ranch in real life. But I also never got to finish this one, and let me warn you, we are definitely going to see this area later on, and this is where all the random custom designs are scattered on the ground. So I actually got to finish a Neverland Ranch area on my Mykonook island, so this was basically like the beta version of my Neverland Ranch idea. But yeah, back to the balcony. I really like how this turned out, and also the idea of having this little river down below, also with the Neverland design. So it's actually sad that I didn't really complete Oreoland. But anyways, we still have this progress. Now this was a little fashion store using a design made by Tropikitch, who has always been one of my biggest inspirations in terms of island design and custom designs in general. So I also used her beautiful label design and tried to incorporate it in this realistic shopping boutique. I actually still like how this turned out, also in terms of color schemes. You even have some Christmas decoration right here. So, which makes sense because this island dream was uploaded during December. But yeah, I also kind of like this transitional area, like with this little gate, because it gives you like old town vibes. Like it actually reminds me of my own town where I live in. I think that was even the inspiration, so I just wanted to have this cozy town feeling for this island. I also used the in-game paths a lot in combination with custom designs, and I actually really like this. Also the layout right here, it's kind of symmetrical, so I actually really like that. So let's proceed, and this is where it takes us to Nook's Granny and Abel's sisters. Also an area which wasn't finished. So I was about to add like a little seating area right here with matching colors. In this case, like with the bistro garden table, it matched the colors of the Abel sisters building. Also a matching bench right here. And so on. So this area wasn't finished neither. You also have this Christmas tree right here, so you can really tell that this island was uploaded during Christmas season. And sadly, it was also the last time I uploaded a tree mattress of this island. So this area is actually also pretty. So this was supposed to become like a little confectionery, also with a seating area right here. And even on this island, I was very obsessed with using the bistro garden table because I just love this little parasol and that you can add so many custom designs and colors to it. So yeah, as I said, this was supposed to become a little confectionery. I think this was actually pretty much finished, also not really overwhelming. So if I'm being brutally honest, I really don't like this. Like, I would definitely not do a build like this on my current islands. I would definitely do it differently, and yeah, I don't have much to say about this. It still looks pretty okay to me, but really not that special. But it's still one of the best areas on this island because some areas on this island are very messy. So this was like supposed to become, or actually is, like a little park. So you have this fountain as centerpiece, some posters with upcoming events on this island, etc. Also more Christmas decoration. So this was actually supposed to become like a seasonal area where I always add fitting decoration that matches the current season of the game. But yeah, so that's Christmas season decoration. And there's also a little beach. This area also doesn't look bad actually. I really like this cobblestone that I used. As well as the color scheme with the pink and light blue overall theme. So I really like this area a lot, and it's definitely one of the few areas that feel complete and that makes sense. And this used to be an area that I also liked a lot, which I changed 100 times at least. So this was like a little walk of fame. There was even a time when I had a lot of custom designs with the names of my islands, villages saved, and I used them like below the custom design of the Hollywood stars. So it was like my villagers got their own little spot on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But I changed it because I replaced all the custom designs, so I deleted the villager ones. So this area became pretty simplified, and I also was on the verge of recreating or like reworking this area, so it isn't finished neither. What a surprise. So also more empty areas right here. But yeah, we also have a little beach boardwalk, which I actually kind of like, also not finished. But I like the pink color scheme with the wood plank design and this wood plank design in general. I would actually consider using this for a new island. I still like this design a lot. Also a little fish shop, etc. Now this is a fun little space filler that I still like. So it's like a little KK music shop. That's actually something I would recreate on one of my new islands if I felt like it. So yeah, let's just discover the rest of this beach real quick. So this area was also actually pretty good, so I think it aged pretty well. And this is, well, this is a mess. So actually this was a nice little souvenir shop, and it used my Greek building designs that I also used for mykonook later on. But yeah, then I swapped designs, and that's why it has like 3 different designs. So this build is also a sad example of how I single-handedly destroyed Oreoland and all its builds, or at least most of them. But if you ignore the custom designs and also the cobblestone, I didn't even notice that one until now. So if you ignore the embarrassing custom design situation right here, this is actually a pretty cool souvenir build. Like, if you have a look at the items, they actually used to fit perfectly with the custom designs I chose. The store was actually pink and the window custom designs used to be white and blue. So this used to be a pretty cool little souvenir shop with matching colors and just a consistent color scheme in general. So again, congratulations to myself for destroying all the glory that this island had. There's also a incline that I never paid off, so I don't even remember what I wanted to do here. Well, I think I wanted to add some terraforming to add a Ferris wheel on the 2nd level, because I thought it would look pretty cool from the distance, but I never got to do that actually, so we will never know. And I think this is where it guides us to my museum. Yes, exactly. So you have this little bladder sign, which is actually pretty cute. Also the terraforming, it's nothing complex at all, but it's cute and simple. I really like this a lot. It still adds a natural vibe to this island. And I also actually like how I did this museum area, so it also has a balcony. So this is like a very tiny seating area which belongs to the roost. You also have Brewster's photo being displayed right here, as well as some fossils. Now I really kept things simple with this museum, but I still like the red custom design with the museum pattern that I used as flag. So it may be simple, but it still works and is actually one of the decent areas on this island. Well, at least if you ignore all the flowers that spread around this area, as well as many other areas on this island. But anyways, let's continue. So this is also a whole mess. So this used to be my campsite. Again, nothing special in terms of decorating, but I do think it had a simple but nice little charm. It really had like a cozy touch to it, but sadly it's very overgrown, so that touch is kind of gone now. Also had this little lookout, etc. So this used to be my campsite, also a whole mess. And now we are about to see what used to be my Neverland ranch area. I actually still like this build. The only thing that upsets me about this build is the fact that all the flowers are spread everywhere, also the weeds being spread. So this is also a whole mess, although it used to be a nice little build and actually pretty good for its time. So again, this island was made a few months after the release of New Horizons. So there's also more space filler moments with this fountain back here. And now this is the whole custom design mess that I was referring to earlier. So I kept swapping custom designs like shortly after the 2.0 update because I wanted to change and improve a lot of areas with the new furniture and also try new custom designs. And at one point I lost track of all the different custom designs and where I used which one. So this is how this mess came to be. It's actually pretty hilarious. So you have this little Michael Jackson logo, which isn't supposed to be right here. Also the Happy Home Paradise shop design, the stall design, and so on. It's actually pretty funny, but also saddening, because this was like a whole nightmare and it would have taken ages to remove all the custom designs from this island. And like remove the furniture that is standing on the custom design, so I gave up sadly. So this was like supposed to become the theme park area of this Neverland ranch. Also not finished, so there's a bench missing right here. And it just feels empty and lifeless in general. But yeah, and there actually used to be a pretty nice little city, so now I think this is still a cute build and I still really love this one, although the custom design is very simple as well. So this is my bistro Oreoland. Now this also saddens me because, as I said, Oreoland actually had so much potential to become a cute little island, like pretty much my first island, but still kind of timeless. So this was my little bistro, a little restaurant, so I still really like this one. Also the custom designs and the colors that I used in general. There's even a teeny tiny outdoor seating area for the restaurant. Yeah, I think this is actually so cute and just proves that Oreoland had so much potential. And could have aged pretty good if I just didn't touch it right after the 2.0 update, because I think this area still has like all the items that were included in the game since day one, so well, except for the street lamp right here. But other than that, and maybe the flowers right here, most of the items here are still the first Animal Crossing items. I think this was also supposed to be a little restaurant. I think that was actually Michael Jackson's player house that I made, and it was like supposed to become a recreation of one of the houses on the Neverland ranch, but also a little restaurant, so it's like a themed restaurant. Also a pretty cool idea actually, so it's sad that I never got to complete this. Now this area is pretty colorful and you could actually say that this is like the inspiration for my other island Bellnita, because it has like this tropical, colorful, almost Spain or Brazil feeling. So you have a neat little seating area, and now this area is actually one of my favorites because right after the 2.0 update was released, I was actually faithful that Nintendo would still maybe release tiny Animal Crossing update. Don't get me wrong, I didn't accept like an overwhelming big Animal Crossing update, especially because Nintendo stated that the 2.0 update would be the last major Animal Crossing update, but I did accept them to keep going with the seasonal updates, so I thought there would be some quality of life updates such as more villager plots. So I was actually an advocate for more villager houses. I thought 3 or 2 or at least 1 more villager plot would be realistic and also wouldn't break the game. So I actually set up these fake plots right here. So this was like supposed to become a 3rd little neighborhood district, so I actually saved this custom design, which looks a bit like the selling plot design. So I added these builds, which were supposed to be like reserved plots for upcoming villagers. So I think this area is pretty hilarious, but also sad because we didn't actually get any more seasonal updates like with any cool new additions or quality of life updates, which is a shame, but yeah, that's Nintendo. I don't get some of the decisions, honestly, especially when it comes to New Horizons, which still has an active player base, so that's pretty odd. Like, they could still do like little updates from time to time, also for example to promote Splatoon or Zelda, like major other game releases, especially because there used to be Zelda and Splatoon villagers. So it puzzles me that Nintendo didn't use these as opportunities to promote both Animal Crossing and the other games, but okay. So yeah, I thought this was a hilarious little area on this island. So let's go on. I also really like how I use the beach rock right here, so it gives you like the extended feeling of a little tropical town, like a Spain or Brazil inspired mini town, which is located down here, and you get a cool little view at those buildings. And another fake villager plot. This is so hilarious. I also like the fitting bench that I chose right here, so it fits with all the buildings and the lighthouse as well. I really like the color scheme of this area in general. And there's even a little staircase which guides you to this nice little area. Oreoland actually had the potential to become a timeless first Animal Crossing island. It had like so much versatility, like it had some Greece inspired areas, even some Spain or Brazil inspired areas like this one. But I really single-handedly ruined this whole island, which is very sad indeed. Like, it actually saddens me. I am so happy with my current islands, but sometimes I still think about Oreoland and how I just didn't use its potential. So yeah, anyways, this was also some cool little double bridge moment with the little waterfall. I really liked this one as well. This was supposed to become a community yard for my upcoming villager houses, so I thought this was cute. So let's proceed. And more wheat and flowers as well. And this is actually also an area which was pretty much finished and is also once again an example of how much potential this island had. So I think this area was inspired by Brazil, even by a certain city which I always mentioned on Instagram, but I absolutely forgot what city it was. But anyways, this was like a Brazil-inspired little cityscape. And I still really like this. It has so much dimension also with the different items I used. And it's just so colorful and aesthetically pleasing. So yeah, this was one of the few areas that actually were finished and that I didn't touch at all. But yeah, Oreoland went through so many changes. I even had a Super Nintendo World inspired build a while ago, but I think I teared this one down. So Oreoland really had so much versatility and fresh ideas, but at one point I just didn't know how to incorporate all these ideas and ran out of space and had to tear things down and then never finished it and so on. Now I'm actually curious because I don't remember if I decorated the player houses at all. I do think I decorated my own player house and also all of the villager houses, but I'm not quite sure actually. So let's just have a look at my house first. Okay, yeah, I wasn't finished with that one, so What I had finished so far actually looks pretty cozy. I really like the KK songs being displayed on the wall. I always think that's such a neat little addition. I don't know about the other rooms though, so let's have a look. Okay, so I actually kind of finished this, but it also has some random items being scattered right here, like who would leave a cotton candy on a bathroom floor? Well, I think this room actually had a pretty neat kitchen, so let's see if I'm right. Yes, so I actually still like this kitchen. Again, very cozy vibes, and I also love the lighting and the color scheme with the brown tones. This is actually pretty cute. So this actually aged pretty well as well. Now let's see about the other rooms. I think this was my bedroom if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. I still remember this one actually, so I think this is also beautifully decorated. It even has some of my villagers as posters on the wall. That's such a cute addition because I still really like all the villagers that I chose for this island. Some of them, especially Bengal and Paula, also live on my current islands. Oh my god, okay, yes. So I also kind of used it as storage by the looks of it. But if you like, ignore that. It's actually a cool little gaming or hobby room in general. It's so cute with the pink color scheme and all the Sanrio related furniture and posters, etc. It's so adorable. But I'm actually surprised because I was pretty sure I also had this little gaming setup item right here, but I don't. Let's see what I have downstairs. Oh, yeah, I actually didn't remember this room, but it doesn't look that bad, does it? I actually really like this, like with the zebra stripes design. Yeah, it has something, so I really like this room actually. It's like a second living room basically, or maybe some kind of guest room or something, with even 3 beds, which is impressive, so you can definitely have a lot of guests over. So yeah, that was my player house. And I would say let's have a look at least one of my villager houses as well, because I really don't remember if I decorated them, but I think I did because I did the exterior. So let's just have a look if we can look into one of them. I think they turned out beautiful actually. So these also aged pretty well, so Oreoland may be a whole mess, but you can't say anything bad about the villager houses though. So let's see if there's more villager houses. Let's have a look into this one. So this is actually from a chalk villager if I'm not mistaken. So it will definitely have a lot of sports related furniture inside. Yeah, I was right, so I actually forgot his name, but he's one of my favorite villagers actually, or like one of my favorite chalk villagers. I really like his design, I think he's absolutely cute. I mean, look at him with his little beak, he's so adorable. Also how I decorated his house, I think it's really stunning. I'm so sorry for my villagers because I literally abandoned them on this mess of an island, but hey, at least they have beautiful little houses, so they probably spend most of the time inside of the houses to not see the mess of this island, which I can understand. So yeah, these were some of my villager houses. But anyways, I think that's it. So this was my very first Animal Crossing island, Oreoland. So in conclusion, this island was a whole mess, but kind of a beautiful and nostalgic mess because Oreoland used to be such a pretty little island. I can't stress this enough, like for its time. But once the 2.0 update was released, I felt this urge to redo this entire island, or pretty much the entire island, which ended up in a disaster. So this entire island turned into a never-ending construction site, which led to me never finishing it and never touching it again, and eventually deleting it. But despite of these sad circumstances, it still has some beautiful areas that were finished and that I didn't touch luckily. such as the little Oreoland bistro, which is literally something in terms of custom designs that I would also do with my current islands, like coming up with unique little restaurants or shop designs. I also really like the hotel build and the Starbucks, like it really had so much potential, as well as the pretzel inspired area. So yeah, personally it is in fact the worst Animal Crossing island in my opinion. Not because it's entirely bad, but because I wasted all of its potential and it's just a whole mess in general, sadly. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this tour. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in this whole wide world. Take care of your beautiful selves and bye!